This multi-part series of videos is about Canadian trademark data, specifically data which is made freely available in XML form by the Canadian Intellectual Property Office. That's CIPO. CIPO publishes its trademark data in accordance with a standard laid down by the World Intellectual Property Organization in Geneva, Switzerland. It's their standard XML ST.96. A number of other trademark offices also publish their trademark data in accordance with the same standard. This has some important ramifications, as I'll mention later in this series. Every week, CIPO releases anywhere from about 20,000 to about 50,000 XML files. If a new trademark application is filed, CIPO creates a new XML file for that trademark and publishes the XML file. If any prosecution event occurs in relation to a currently pending trademark application, CIPO updates the XML file for that trademark and republishes the XML file with the updated information. About twice a year, CIPO republishes their entire XML trademark dataset. They call that their global refresh. You can get CIPO's XML trademark data simply by going to their main trademarks webpage and scrolling down to this More Information section. What you want is that IP Horizons bulk data link at the bottom. I've got a copy of that link here, so I'll just click it. Here we have the web page. What you want is that trademarks data link in the center of this slide. I'll just click the Applications and Registrations link. And here we have the weekly updates. You can download any of them just by clicking the download link. You can also get the global file by clicking this Historical Files tab, and you can download the various zip files that make up the global by clicking the download links that you see on the right here. If you're serious about working with CIPO's trademark XML data, then you want to download a copy of the data dictionary, which you see here. For this series, I'll be using CIPO's 5 October 2019 global release, plus all of the weekly updates that CIPO has issued since then. That 5 October 2019 global contains one XML file for every trademark, that's registered marks, pending applications, abandoned applications, etc., as of the 5th of October 2019. If you download the global, you're going to have 106 zip files, and you'll need at least 26.6 gigabytes of storage space to hold them. If you unzip all of those zip files, you're going to wind up with a little over 1.6 million XML files, and you'll need about 50 gigabytes of storage space to hold those. CIPO does not include any longer XML files pertaining to marks that were canceled, expunged, abandoned, or refused before 1979. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. XML files are very common. They contain simple, plain text, and they're characterized by the use of so-called user-defined tags. Here we have a very brief extract from one of CIPO's trademark XML files. The user-defined tags are in blue here. So for this initial element, the opening tag is COM:registration number, And the closing tag of that element, denoted by the / that you see here, is the same words prefixed by that / Encapsulated between the tags, we have the data itself, which in this case, of course, is a Canadian trademark registration number. Anyone familiar with Canadian trademark practice should have no difficulty understanding the tags shown on this slide and the data encapsulated between the tags. You can work with XML files with many different programs, Notepad, most word processors, a browser. All of these programs these days are XML aware, and therefore they are readily capable of opening the files and extracting the tagged information and displaying it in various degrees of usability. If you're going to be doing a lot of work with XML files, then you'll want to use a specialized XML viewer. One that I like to work with is Notepad++. Here we see Notepad++, and using it, I have opened one of CIPO'S Trademark XML files. I'll just expand my screen a bit so that you can see the XML details a little more readily. I'll scroll down. You can see this is obviously an XML file pertaining to a design trademark because we've got a lot of information pertaining to Vienna classifications. I'll scroll down a little further, expand that. Here you can see the particulars of the applicant and of the trademark agent who's handling this particular application. Scrolling down a little further, we come to some very significant information in the XML file. Notice all of these different mark events, as they are called. All of the different prosecution events which happen right from the filing of a new application through to registration, and indeed post-registration events such as Section 45 proceedings, are fully documented in these mark event XML elements. And you can do some very interesting things working with those, as I will demonstrate later in this series. So in CIPO'S XML files, you'll find everything that you can see via CIPO'S online trademark database. Indeed, you'll find more in the XML files than what you will find exposed on the online database. As I mentioned previously, there's a data dictionary which you really want to download if you're going to be doing any serious work with the XML data. At present, CIPO has defined roughly 500 different XML data fields for its trademark data. And CIPO modifies those fields, adds new fields, deletes redundant fields as circumstances require. For example, when the June 29, 2019 amendments to the Trademarks Act and regulations went into force, CIPO issued an update to the data dictionary to add some new XML fields, modify certain others, and delete some which had become redundant. The XML files come with some additional files. For example, any XML file pertaining to a design mark is accompanied by a PNG, that's Portable Network Graphics file, containing an image of the design. XML files for sound marks are accompanied by MP3 files containing sound recordings, and XML files pertaining to holograms or moving images are accompanied by MP4 multimedia files. Now, in this series, I am not going to be dealing with trademark searching. You should continue to use your existing resources for trademark searching purposes. What this series is about is leveraging CIPO's XML data in order to enhance your trademark practice and improve the services that you're providing to your clients. It's also going to be about derivation of useful business intelligence from the XML data, and I'll be demonstrating that in later parts of this series. Now, this has been a very brief introduction to CIPO's trademark XML data. With approximately 500 different trademark XML fields to choose from, I've only scratched the surface. In part 2 of this series, I'll discuss reorganizing the data into a database. Feel free to email me if you have any questions or comments.